Hi, Josh. Has there been more instances of zone coverage from your calls lately? And I know you can't give away too much on scheme, but what generally goes into the decisions on zone versus man?
Well, again, I don't think you want to be the same thing over and over against people. So you try to change the picture, whether that's changing the front or changing the coverage. Especially against a lot of the good quarterbacks that we face. Again, we always try to apply pressure to them, and we try to apply pressure to the offensive line. So I think, a good mix of calls is always kind of what you're looking for. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. And does having corners going in banged up also factor in limiting how much or how often you want them running stride for stride with a receiver?
Well, I think you always take into consideration matchups. I know offensive coordinators, they do the same thing. I mean, the NFL is basically a matchup league. You're always trying to put guys in position to succeed. And, and there's definitely certain plays that you want to get into certain coverages and certain plays that may help other coverages that you try to run too as well.
Barry?
Hi, Josh. Was the fact that Jalen Phillips played only 15 snaps entirely a byproduct of him being limited last week with the ankle, or did you feel like other players gave you a better chance to win against Atlanta, or was it both?
Well, I think you always take into consideration when you go into a week of practice of what guys have repped, what they haven't repped, and then at the forefront always is player safety. We can only be as good as the health of our team. So, you don't want to put players in, situations that may not be great for them. I think, always game plan kind of dictates, where guys go. Players' health dictates where guys go. And then, the amount of reps or comfortability that they have with the scheme of a given week. I think all those things go into consideration.
Thanks.
Daniel?
Hey, Josh, I wanted to kind of ask a similar question to David. I know every year is different, but last year you guys were at the top of the league in terms of blitz percentage, about 40%. That number has dropped a bit. I know talking to Brian, he said, his mindset is that you need to impact the quarterback. Given that, what do you think has played a factor in not blitzing as much, and where would you assess the pass rush at this point of the season?
Well, again, I think every week, we're trying to put pressure on the offensive line. We're trying to put pressure on the quarterback. There's a number of different ways that you can do it. Obviously, I don't think any phase is exactly where we want with the consistency that we want, whether you're talking run defense, pass rush, or pass coverage. So, again, I think that goes into, we need to coach it better and keep a variety of things to try to put our players in better position to succeed. And, the other thing is when you do something over and over again, teams prepare for it and they have a lot of plans for it. So it's not one of those things that you can just, consistently year after year, do the same thing over and over again.
I had a quick follow-up to that. I think that over the past couple of years, it's been shown that teams are blitzing a lot less just because the rules are kind of favored to the offense and whatnot. Do you just big picture, do you see that as well, that a lot of NFL defenses are kind of leaning away from blitzing and favoring the coverage and putting more people in coverage as opposed to sacrificing guys in coverage?
Well, I think the offenses, they do a good job of IDing what you're in. And I think whether it's formation or shift, motion, and then, again, they have plans that they can go to. Week in and week out, obviously, we've brought, a good amount of pressure over the years. We've seen a lot of different things, but, teams have different plans to it. Sometimes you're comfortable with it. Sometimes you're not. So all those factors, based on, again, matchups and how they may handle it, go into account whether, you want to do it a lot or, not as much.
Thank you.
Travis? Hey, good morning, Coach. Kind of on that same topic of matchups, this league has so many guys that can match up across the board. And a guy like Kyle Pitts, for instance, I was just kind of curious to get your take as far as how the adjustments go, whether it's the pregame planning or in-game adjustments for how you shuffle who you might cover a guy like that who can play out wide, who can condense inside and just do so many things. How does that in-game adjustment process work for you guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're very aware of matchups going in. And, we always have contingency plans if it doesn't go the way, if it's not going in our favor. And, again, Atlanta, like Arthur Smith does a great job with his scheme and has, 10 to 12 different personnel groupings where they can move guys all around. So it makes it a little bit hard saying, okay, we're going to put this guy here in this set or this guy in here, because then it could give you a bad matchup somewhere else. That you're not really, fired up about. But, obviously, Pitts is a good player. He's improving, and, I think he has a bright future in this league.
Thank you.
Go to Omar.
Josh, for the past 2 weeks, you guys have limited opponents to less than 100 yards, which is, I'm sure, a goal each week. I know Raekwon returned, I believe, 3 games ago, but what do you think has been the difference in the run defense?
Well, I think that, we're playing with better fundamentals and better techniques. I think Anthony Campanelli and Austin Clark, those guys are doing a good job of, making sure that we understand the run fits, the run schemes, the things that we're trying to do. And I think our guys are executing it. At a little bit more consistent level. Obviously, you're always striving for perfection. And again, I know football is an imperfect game. Nobody's ever, called a perfect game. Nobody's ever played a perfect game, but you're always striving for that. And I think we're just seeing a little bit more consistency in it. And, and we're trying to build off of that, and hopefully that will continue.
Go back to Travis.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you about Christian Wilkins. Obviously, been a good player for you guys for 3 years, but it seems like the production's starting to really show up in terms of the counting stats. Just wanted to get your take as far as what he's done this year to really kind of take his game to that next level.
Well, I think Christian's always played with great effort. I think it starts with that. And I think he's doing, a good job of working on his fundamentals and his techniques to put himself in position to make plays. And then when he does, and when he has opportunities, he's been able to make those plays. So I think that's kind of a byproduct of him knowing and understanding the system a little bit better, him knowing and understanding his techniques and fundamentals a little bit better. And, and also when you know those things, when you can take chances that are probably going to be in your favor. And I think he's done that very well.
Does anyone have any other questions for Coach Boyer? Travis?
Yeah, I'm going to keep coming back to you, Coach. I want to ask you about your rookie safety, Javon Holland. He had the big sack in the game. He's all over the place in coverage. That one deep ball kind of got behind him. Just wanted to get your evaluation of how he's playing so far.
Yeah, I think it starts with Javon from day one. I mean, he's come in, he's worked extremely hard. He loves football. He loves the process. He's working at, better understanding how he fits in the scheme and the multiple things that he can do. And I think, we're seeing that growth, and, hopefully that will continue for us. He definitely has some playmaking ability, and, and again, it's our job to try to put him in spots where he can make those plays.
David?
Hey, and also just your reaction losing Jason McCourty for some time now. Coach Flo told us he'll be on injured reserve, and what you can get out of a guy like a Sheldrick Redwine bringing him in.
Well, again, I mean, obviously I've known Jason McCourty for a while, and, personally it's heartbreaking for him because I know the work that he puts in and how important the team is to him. So, obviously my heart goes out to him, and I know how much he puts into football in general, the Miami Dolphins, this team. I feel for him, when we bring new guys in, obviously we're excited about them. But you just try to catch them up to speed, see what they can do, and try to work them in the best you can. And, when they're given opportunities, hopefully they make the most of them.
This is the Big O Show.